Now you sleep on the couch." She screamed it like a verdict, plates still rattling in the sink, the smell of burnt garlic in the air. Her phone face down on the counter. I didn't raise my voice. I looked at her. Really looked at her. The woman I married 7 years ago. The woman who once cried when I surprised her with cheap roadside flowers because I couldn't afford roses. Then I choose our lonely neighbor's couch. Silence. Her face drained. That's not what I meant. But it was exactly what I meant. And she knew it. We used to laugh about Mr. Kareem next door, the widower with the overgrown lawn and the quiet house. She said she felt sorry for him. Took him soup sometimes. Said loneliness was a slow death. I believed her. I believed everything. I worked late shifts, built our savings, paid off her student loans, memorized her coffee order, defended her when my mother said she was too friendly. I trusted her kindness. That was my first mistake. The first crack was small. A notification lighting up her screen at 11:47 p.m. Thank you for today. I needed that. No name, just a heart emoji. She snatched the phone too fast. Said it was her friend Sana. I nodded. I started watching. She dressed better on evenings she dropped off leftovers. Lipstick. Perfume she never wore for me anymore. Came back flushed. Blamed the stairs. One night I followed. I didn't feel rage. I felt clarity. His porch light flickered as she knocked. He opened the door before she even touched it. Like he was waiting. He didn't look lonely. He looked prepared. The door didn't fully close. It didn't have to. I saw enough. Her hand on his chest. His mouth near her ear. Intimacy doesn't need volume. It breathes in silence. I walked back home slowly. That was the night my grief hardened into strategy. I didn't confront her. I started preparing. Step 1, finances. The house was in my name. So were the investments. She thought we were co-owners. We weren't. I had protected us from her impulsive spending years ago. She never read the documents she signed. I moved half the liquid funds into a separate account under a holding company I created months earlier when I first suspected something. Step 2, evidence. I installed a small security camera in our living room under the pretext of rising burglaries. She agreed instantly. She didn't notice it captured the front door, or that timestamps don't lie. Step 3, legal. I consulted a lawyer discreetly, showed him screenshots, footage, transaction, records of money she transferred to an unknown account, Mr. Kareem's account. The lawyer smiled thinly. Adultery, financial misconduct. You're covered. Good. I wasn't angry anymore. I was meticulous. The opportunity came wrapped in arrogance. She picked a fight over nothing. Accused me of being distant, cold, unavailable. Projection is a confession in disguise. Then she yelled it. Now you sleep on the couch. She thought it was punishment. She thought I'd beg. Instead, I delivered the line I'd rehearsed in my head for weeks. Then I choose our lonely neighbor's couch. Her pupils expanded. Fear is ugly when it realizes it's exposed. You're being disgusting, she snapped. No, I said calmly. Just practical. She didn't sleep that night. I did, in our bed. The next evening, I invited Mr. Kareem over. I told her it was to clear misunderstandings. She went pale but agreed. Pride wouldn't let her refuse. He walked in pretending confusion. I served tea, turned on the TV. But it wasn't television. It was the camera feed from 3 weeks earlier. Her entering the house at 8:12 p.m., her leaving at 11:03. Different days, different outfits, same ending. The room felt smaller with every second. She started crying first. He started sweating. Explain, I said softly. She tried gaslighting. It's not what it looks like. Classic. I handed Mr. Kareem a printed bank statement. Her transfers highlighted in yellow. You weren't lonely, I said. You were expensive. His mouth opened, closed. He hadn't known I knew about the money. That was the fracture between them. Betrayal doesn't survive sunlight. I slid divorce papers across the table. Signed. Witnessed. Prepared. She stared at the clause she hadn't expected. No alimony. No house. No access to the primary accounts. Infidelity voided everything. Her tears shifted from guilt to panic. Please, she whispered. But the power had already moved. Quietly, completely. Mr. Kareem stood up first. Mumbled something about misunderstandings. About not knowing we were still close. Cowardice always sounds like confusion. He left alone. She followed an hour later. Not to him. He had already locked his door. The neighborhood buzzed within days. She tried to spin the story. But evidence travels faster than rumors. I didn't shout. I didn't defend myself. I simply forwarded clips when necessary. Truth doesn't need volume either. Now the house is silent, but not heavy. Peaceful. I sold it last month, used the profit to invest in a small cafe downtown. Something I'd always wanted. I kept one thing from the old life. The couch. It sits in my new apartment. I sometimes look at it and almost smile. It was never about where I would sleep. It was about who would. She told me to take the couch. I took everything else instead. And the lonely neighbor, he finally understands what loneliness really feels like. As for me, I sleep just fine.